Please just stutter until the computer is barely visible. Barely visible? That's good. Until the dog and the cat are friends? Oh. Oh. Please just decide until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Whoa. These are some fun sliders. Just slide until you. Yeah. Which of the two made up words below is most appealing to you? Occuboinkle? Scrumptious. Yeah. Yeah, a little something like that. Please just a slider. Think? Do you know what time it is right now? Yes, I do. Is the time that is right now the correct time? I guess so. What is time anyways? Yeah. Facts. Facts. What is time? It's only a construct. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Absolutely. Help? Oh. Will you come back to visit me? I'll do my best. I'll do my best. What I feel like that means that I've almost got everything done in this game. Anyway. Yo, what's up guys? It's Hoaxy AKZ. Today we're back in the Stanley Parable. But before we start, make sure y'all go down below, like the video, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe if you want. And with that, let's get into the video. The end is never gonna get old. I'm telling you.
This is the
Nah, skip. Okay. So I had the bucket last time. Let's go ahead and grab the bucket because I think that there
Stanley
are a
decided
lot
to
of.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Like I was saying, I think there's a lot of different outcomes when I take the bucket with me.
Tightly to his chest and entered the door.
Which way do I want to go? I'll go this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Sure, the lounge.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No.
Never mind.
I'm gonna go all the way
Stanley took the door on his left
to the end,
to go back
like straight
to the
line.
meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Go
The
up
cargo lift is good.
Said the bucket.
I'll try that way
Now
next
ride the
time.
lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
The bucket
It
is
should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't
a
talk.
force of nature.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly
cool,
did
man.
whatever the bucket asked.
I think that every time I come in this room is cool. I like this room for some reason. There's balloons up there.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again
coming, I'm
obeyed
coming.
blindly.
Blindly. Bucket's my friend. I didn't just obey
Now pick up the
blindly.
phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go, Bucket. Let's go home.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley.
A
and
sad
his bucket.
story?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a
Yeah,
friend.
well...
And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your Bucket. Press Y to take me to work with you, okay? Let's go.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket
we're
was
here now.
merely meant to provide the comforting glow
Looks
of
so bright in here
companionship.
now.
It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
Is it always
Whatever
like
Stanley
this?
is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Take
Lately,
that
I've been
okay.
concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like
I'm
this,
chilling,
obsessing
man.
over an inanimate metal object?
Bucket.
I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
T.
Oh, I'll try
The
anyway.
door's... Wait, why is the door
Stanley?
closed now?
Can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It
My
can't
bad.
think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one
No.
location to a different location.
Not just
That's
liquids,
it.
solids
It
too.
doesn't
Can
do
pick up some
anything
dirt, maybe
else.
some bricks. I don't know. Bucket is useful. Don't diss bucket like that.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Wait, where'd I was too distracted by the cups, the mugs. Ignore anyone. Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
Sad.
It doesn't
I
have to be
suppose
that
he
deep,
doesn't need
man.
me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
Shiny bucket.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Key. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Damn!
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average
Watch your
hardware
TV,
store
homie.
bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
Why does it only have
Like
to
it would be
transport
better
liquid?
at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
G to relive the same day with me over and over. Wow.
Oh my God, what am I saying?
I don't really
Better
wanna
at
do
carrying
that,
water from
but
room to room.
you
It's
don't
a
really leave
bucket.
me much of
It's
an
literally
option.
just a bucket. Why do I feel so
That was a
need
cool
to
ass
point
shadow,
out
by the
ways
way.
in
It was
which
just
it's
peeking over the...
so much
cool.
more than just a regular bucket?
Take me home. Go home. Go home. J.
Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No,
Bucket?
no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
Ooh,
Hear what
these
the bucket has
candles
to say.
are
Do anything
changing
it
the
asks.
mood a little
What's wrong
bit.
with
We're
me?
going
I
to
don't
the bedroom
understand.
now?
Perhaps if
my.
I had the bucket, this would be
Bucket,
less
bro.
confusing.
Bucket,
Yes,
you gotta
the
chill.
bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the
Let's get
bucket.
away from
Give it
this
to me.
room.
Give me
No.
the bucket, Stanley.
Hey,
I
whoa,
need
whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa,
Give
whoa,
it to
whoa,
me
whoa.
now.
No,
Give it, or
no.
I'll...
Bucket? Go back to work, Stanley. Okay. Okay. I didn't need you to tell me to go back to work. Well, that was an experience.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Okay.
Perhaps warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
I'm
Stanley
going
clutched
right
the bucket
again.
tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I don't care
And
about
here
the
it was.
lounge.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't
Going
go
this
to the
way.
meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift
cargo
all the way
lift.
to the
Good.
top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Dude, this voice.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Dude, I
But
almost
Stanley
missed.
chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop.
Whoa.
Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no
No buckets.
past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I
Oh.
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior.
Two
up to
buckets
this
or
point,
not two
which,
bucket?
if
This
that's
is the
true,
question.
Well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Why does it gotta be like
Please,
that, though?
step in here for a moment.
Dark room. Cool. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or or is not a bucket?
Ooh.
Okay, let's begin.
Let's learn. Ooh.
Item 1. Is
Bucket.
this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket.
Ah,
Not an
that's not a
actual
bucket. That's no bucket. What are you talking about? That's clearly not a bucket. What's next? What do you got here?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
I think that's a bucket.
Incorrect.
Oh!
It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual
But
bucket.
doesn't that make it a bucket? If it's a 3D representation of a bucket, it basically is a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Correct. This
Okay.
is a bucket.
Okay. Tractor?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
That's a
To be
tractor.
honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that
Yeah.
even this might be too much for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for not
No,
making me look
I
like
got
an
it.
idiot.
I got it.
Okay,
That
next
is not a bucket. That is definitely not a bucket. Gosh.
Is this a bucket?
Yeah, sure. It might be.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay, I got that right. That was a bucket. Where
Item 6.
can I like leave?
Is this a bucket?
Yeah, sure.
Trick question.
Both.
Both.
But there
Gotcha.
wasn't a both option, was there?
Item. Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one.
You
Let me
lost
see.
it?
It should be around here somewhere.
I can't even leave this little podium thing. Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket.
That's
when
a
we
bucket.
both clearly know that
It's
a
a
bucket
sign that
is
it's a bucket.
something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
No.
Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what?
Nothing
too
is a
confused
bucket.
to even
Because
sort it out.
nothing is
I've lost
empty.
all sense of perspective.
waiting to
What
be
is
filled.
A bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere
Waiting
moments ago,
to
I could
have
answer these questions with confidence.
Memories put
Yet
inside.
now I'm somewhat adrift.
Life is
Do
nothing.
any of us know
Life
what
is
a
a
bucket
bucket.
is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep
Nah,
doing
you
this.
don't have much
I'm
potential.
losing myself, and myself was all I ever had.
I have to
begin
press
with.
this? Oh, okay.
I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Whoa, whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
here we
whoa.
go.
It does not need to be that serious, brother. Oh,
What happened? Is
Yeah.
everything gone?
oh yeah, what
Why
happened?
did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything was a
Every single
bucket.
thing in the game was a bucket.
Everything's a bucket.
Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley,
That's true, you are still
you're
talking, aren't
here.
you?
You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is
I know, I'm still
wonderful
here.
news. We're not buckets.
No.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll
whole game was a
reset
bucket.
Everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay.
Who knows what
That's
that
a
information might do
good
to a
idea.
person. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Well, now what? What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never
Aw.
be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley
So,
clutched the bucket tightly to his
I'm
chest.
trying to remember. I
and
don't think I
entered the
can
door
go
on his left.
anywhere else that way. So let's go this way. Oh, there is maybe one place I could go to down the hallway, like on the right. But that's about it, I think. What did
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and
Let's
the bucket
go
walked
down.
upstairs to the boss's office.
Nah. I hear one. It's a figurine. Wait, what are these called? I'm trying to remember before it pops up. I don't know what it's called.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anurines.
Figler
Very soon, you'll collect
Anurines.
the last
That's
one,
weird
and
to
then
say.
the
Figure
first number
Anurines?
will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then.
So
Different in the
what
sense
if
that
it?
we used to
What
have
if there's more
none
than
of
just
them.
6 in the
And
game?
now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anurines.
That's pretty
None of us
Stanley
can.
Parable of them. If there's more than 6 in the game.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
So we're back in this
Maybe,
infinite.
he thought to himself,
Wait,
maybe
I heard something.
I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Oh.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket,
bucket
is a source
is
of
becoming
guidance and
slowly
wisdom for me in difficult times
Unresponsive.
such as these.
Unresponsive.
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Yeah, dude. It's
And
not.
that's when Stanley realized,
It's not
this
with me
isn't
anymore.
my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket,
is
perhaps.
a
How
regular
did I end up
bucket?
with someone else's bucket?
Yeah, this is
all
bad.
terribly wrong.
No, I need
Surely
my
no
bucket
good would
back.
come
You
from
don't
this.
understand.
Who
This is
knows
serious.
what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience?
I
without
need
the
my bucket.
psychologically
Where my
grounding
now? Where'd
presence
that
of his
bucket go? It's gone now.
And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
They've been repeating.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
flying.
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley!
Stanley!
It's me, the bucket.
The bucket. Where are you, bucket?
Retreatingly, he rushed forward from room to room, passing by one
Buckets!
bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Oh,
Come to me, Stanley.
there's so
Find
many
me.
buckets in here.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old
Have
friend.
those buckets
it was
always
the
been
only
in
way
there? I
to
don't think
truly
they have.
restore his sanity. And then suddenly,
No, they're popping up.
froze dead in his tracks.
Okay.
He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
Oh,
The
where?
real bucket was inside of him.
Oh
all
my
along.
gosh.
It was incredibly painful.
Big bucket.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh. Hey.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
We're back with Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place
Mariella
of
has a
work.
bucket of.
But
Ooh.
on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
That was me.
Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad.
He lost his
ranting
special
and
bucket.
raving about a narrator describing
His
all of
security
his actions
bucket.
and how everything
It
is
had abandoned him.
predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first
No,
place.
someone stole
How
my bucket.
cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
Aw.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket
She has
would
a meeting
provide
she's gotta go to or
absolute
something?
guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself.
Heck yes.
My life
My
kicks
life
ass.
kicks
And
ass.
she backed
Yeah,
all the
you
way
go,
to work.
Mariella. Oh. Oh, Mariella. What a cool character. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I think I
Stanley
need to
decided
take
to go to the meeting
the
Good
room
old
on the
bucket.
left of the
Just
right door.
Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Me in the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I
But Stanley
know.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's amazing
And
that
here
this
it
part
was.
hasn't
Had
gotten
the
like
bucket
old
turned
for
out
me
to be
yet.
correct?
Like I would have
Was this
thought I'd be
better?
annoyed of
Never
hearing
mind.
this voice
The bucket
over and
was
over
wrong.
at the start. But
Stanley took the door on his
You know,
left to
I'm
go
kinda
back
used
the
to
way,
it.
and so the two of them detoured through
Look,
the
there's the
maintenance
meeting room,
section
and now I'm
walked
going down
straight
here.
ahead to the opposite door.
no. We're going down.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here.
We're
I
on
knew
an
you'd
event.
find this place eventually.
Sure. What is this? Yellow line?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because
Fine.
we care about you
I'll
very
pop a
much.
squash.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's
Yeah.
just sequel content.
Yeah,
We're the
which is
ones
why
that
I'm
matter,
holding
Stanley.
it.
Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet.
The Adventure Line
because
was
that's
goated.
what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
Hey, the bucket
Yes,
is
I know I'm the one who
undying,
gave you the
okay?
bucket, but you're
Unyielding.
spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could
Yeah.
make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes,
Well, let's
yes,
go.
that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Let's go. I need more Adventure Line.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next?
I don't know.
And it played some silly music as well.
Yeah! Bring the music back, baby. Woo! Da, da, da.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is
Now,
all about.
come on.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I don't remember that.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this.
Whoa,
But
that's.
if we want to do
I
that,
just realized
you're
how
going
like
to have
bare
to give
this room
something
was.
up.
I'm not giving up the bucket. The bucket's mine. Doing that sidestep down the stairs. Ooh. Ooh, that's a loud noise. Where am I?
Don't you get it, Stanley?
What is that?
We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
It's not that serious. It's not.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore
Well,
of the
this
Stanley
is
Parable. True,
sequel
it also
content
was
too.
not
What
in the
makes this
original game,
different
but
than
it's such
Bucket?
a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what
It
the
is
Bucket
kinda
Destroyer
cool,
does?
though.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket.
I
and
don't
then
want to
pop it
say
into the
goodbye to
machine
the
when you're
bucket.
ready.
You're making me do this.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what
Wait.
the Bucket Destroyer will do if it
Wait.
can't destroy your bucket.
I'm not
Destroying
giving you the
buckets
bucket.
is all it knows. That is its singular personality
I'm not
trait.
giving you the bucket.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with
too
complexity and
powerful.
nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits.
It's
what
too
other
powerful.
object in this game
It's
can
too
you
strong.
even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
It wants more power.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it.
Never!
You can't get back to the classic
This is
Stanley
my
Parable
bucket.
characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer
Oh.
until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it,
Never!
the fans, Stanley. Give
No!
the fans what they want.
My
Hurry and-
bucket. Oh. It's the Bucket Destroyer.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation.
Sequel
You had so much
content.
potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such
No.
spellbinding
No.
stories about you.
No.
All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
See you later, Bucket Destroyer. Oh, fade to black. Restart. Great. All right. I'm not
A
sure if
soft
there's
wind
anything
blew
left.
outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped
Well, that's
shortly
new.
after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
I want to see whether. What happens if I don't take the bucket right now? Like, where else can I go?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait. Let me, I don't know if there's anything left. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to see if there's anything
Coming
left.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human.
Alright.
All of his co-workers
There's
were
like a
gone.
couple
What
more
could it
that I
mean?
need to go to.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
I had
he
to
had simply
restart it
missed
again
Where are we
because
going
I had an
today?
idea.
The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Wait, this is different. Where am I going?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What was... I don't know what I need to do anymore. Where... Okay. Alright, yeah, I had an idea. And it's after the boss's office.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned
Two,
to discover
five,
not an
6,
indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light
8,
pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
The
The
bucket's
two
always
of
with
them
me,
were
man.
inseparable.
Bucket's
At
my
this
buddy.
point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I was so close.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket
I never
guiding him?
realized how dark this room got.
Yes. This is certainly the most
After
logical
that.
explanation.
It got dark in there. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Come on, pick it up.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
It's not that
It would
fast,
be
is
all
it?
Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
Eastway.
Everything will be fine.
Eastway.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight
Mind
ahead through the
control
large
for
door that
Snoop.
read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Maybe, but maybe not.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Huh. Whoa. Was this how it was last time? I don't remember that free fall like that. Clunk. Alright, I still got my bucket with me. My reassurance bucket.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at
We're
ease
getting
to
pretty
embrace the bucket.
close.
But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what
Is
Stanley
bucket
thought
gonna
to
get me out of
himself,
this?
and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh. Okay.
Farewell, Stanley,
Oh.
cried the narrator,
Oh,
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
I'm okay for now.
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh. Okay, I guess I'm going this way then. The Stanley Parable.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Whoa.
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Dude, this is epic. This looks epic. What is this room? The bucket. That's a lot to read. Welcome. The Grand Exhibit. Ooh. I'm not gonna read all that, but
Can you see
ooh.
how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and
Whoa,
to
look at
claim
all
it
them
for his
buckets.
own? Can you see the hubris that blinded
25.
him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
I think that's more than 25 buckets. A bucket with two handles? Two handle. Whoa. Now that's a lot. Two handles is a lot. Look at old timey bucket, old inferno bucket. Very cool. The stress bucket. Wait, what? Oh. Huh. Is that like? Oh yeah. I was gonna say, is that an analogy? And it said an analogy at the top. Whoa. Tambura, tambura,
No
I like that
man
room.
can
I like
own
that
a
room.
bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Really? That's how you feel? I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna fall. Ha! I knew it! Ah, oh, I definitely thought I was gonna fall inside, but I didn't. Bucket.
But
Bucket.
there is something we can do.
What can we do? What can
Something
we do?
we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What? Oh,
Let
perish?
Stanley die.
I see how it
Let
is.
him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful
What?
bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
Why
The
does
bucket should
Stanley
take his
need to
place
die?
as
Why
ruler,
can't I just
as
throw the
leader,
bucket
as
into
commander
here?
of a new world, a new vision.
Do I do it? Do I let him die or do I begin the game again? Goodbye, Stanley. Uh-huh. All right. Nice. All right, well, that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure y'all go down below, like the video, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button for me. And yeah, peace.